When most people hear the term UFO, a very specific image comes to mind. It usually involves tinfoil hats, late-night conspiracy radio, or a wobbly silver saucer on a string in a 1950s B-movie. But while popular culture has spent decades treating the subject as a punchline, global military and scientific authorities have been operating under a very different reality. In September 1947, the commanding general of the U.S. Air Materiel Command drafted a classified memorandum assessing a wave of airspace incursions. His private conclusion was blunt. The phenomenon reported is something real and not visionary or fictitious. That document highlights a massive historical gap. We are told to laugh at the very same objects that defense agencies actively track. Finding the truth requires looking at how they handle the data. Agencies like the U.S. Air Force and France's National Space Agency process raw sightings through an aggressive scientific filter. Investigators throw out as much data as possible, discarding over 95% of reports into categories of human error, weather anomalies, or defective equipment. Take an incident from the French Doms region. Locals reported a terrifying glowing orb hovering in the night sky. The official investigation deduced it was actually a corroded 10 kilovolt power line, creating a high-voltage electrical arc, which was melting drops of aluminum into a fish tank below and killing the local catfish. By ruthlessly debunking the vast majority of these reports, defense institutions establish a baseline of trust. The tiny percentage of evidence that survives this filter is undisputed and undeniable. The institutional filter isolates a specific residue, cases featuring simultaneous visual identification and radar tracking by trained military observers. During the 1956 Lakenheath incident in the UK, an object demonstrated speeds and accelerations that completely outmaneuvered British Royal Air Force interceptors, easily outpacing the Venom fighter. 20 years later, over Tehran, an Iranian F-4 Phantom attempted to intercept a brightly lit object. As the fighter closed to within 25 miles, its fire control and communication systems suffered a complete simultaneous failure. And over the United States in 1957, an RB-47 Stratojet bomber, a massive electronic intelligence aircraft, was paced across multiple states by an object that actively jammed the bomber's advanced sensors using pulsed microwaves. These surviving cases point to physical craft capable of active electromagnetic warfare, systems that neutralize our most advanced fighters. The evidence isn't limited to radar screens in the sky. When these objects descend, they leave physical trace evidence on the ground. One of the most rigorously documented examples occurred in Trans-en-Provence in 1981, investigated directly by the French government. After an ovoid craft landed and departed, investigators found a heavy, circular depression pressed forcefully into the dirt. But the National Institute for Agronomic Research discovered something much stranger in the surrounding vegetation. The plant's photosynthesis apparatus, their cellular ability to convert sunlight into energy, showed a physiological trauma linked to exposure to intense, localized microwave radiation. This botanical scarring provides tangible proof of a non-conventional propulsion system. These craft emit massive, localized energy fields that leave a permanent mark on the ecosystem. Faced with impossible flight characteristics, the initial military assumption in 1947 was that the United States was dealing with a highly funded foreign adversary, likely utilizing nuclear propulsion. That anxiety made sense at the time. The Allies had recently captured extreme, unconventional aircraft designs, like the Horton Flying Wing, from defeated adversaries. It is why the author of that 1947 memo was so concerned. He was observing craft executing extreme rates of climb and supersonic speeds without producing a sonic boom, feats that defied the known laws of physics. Fast forward 50 years. In 1999, a group of high-level French defense experts and the former head of the French Space Agency published an independent study known as the COMETA Report. The authors realized that over a half-century, no earthly nation had claimed or matched these technologies. If a human power possessed this capability, they would have deployed it. The foreign adversary theory was dead. The report arrived at a stark conclusion. Stripped of its bizarre stigma, the extraterrestrial hypothesis emerges as a highly probable strategic reality. As long as society leaves the UFO phenomenon in the realm of popular mythology, we remain scientifically blind to an intelligence that has been operating with absolute impunity in our skies for decades.